was your flight from Jamaica to Switzerland? And
It
where
was
exactly in Switzerland are you?
okay. So let's say I am in a very small town. It's a port town called Le Bouvray. It is a very small fishing kind of town. It's a
Ah,
lot of there is a school here, but it's a lot of population is a lot of elderly folk. So it's a very quiet town. It's very, very subdued. And if you like to fish, we have like a port. Sorry, off the school is like a 5-minute walk from the port. So you like fishing and stuff, you come to Le Bouvray and you go fishing, you go rowing, kayaking. It's like a water sport area. So that's Le Bouvray. That means I am 2 hours away by train from Geneva Airport, which is the closest airport that we have in here, near to our school. And then for the flight, it took me approximately 2 days because I had a layover in the US. I had to leave the airport and come back layover because it's a cheaper route. It
oh,
makes no
and
sense.
the next road is through Panama.
Yes. But Panama stops me in Zurich airport. And I'd have to go from Geneva to Zurich and then Zurich to Panama.
Ah,
Yes, and then I could do another one to arrive at Geneva airport would be I could go either to Amsterdam, Madrid,
mhm.
or Heathrow. I can't go through Heathrow because I don't have a UK visa yet.
Oh,
Hopefully.
I went
I
through
try.
Amsterdam. Yeah, I went through Amsterdam because I went to
Amsterdam.
Panama. I went to
Mm-hmm.
Panama.
Yeah. Amsterdam or Madrid airport. Madrid airport. I did Madrid one. It wasn't bad. Just that the airport's too big. At one point, I nearly missed my connection because the flight was delayed, and they put our plane on like the terminal, and my connecting plane was on the T terminal. I had to take I know them as sky trams. You know the little trams that have the airport that connects. Yes, I had to run there, go take the tram, and then run up the stairs, and like I made it just in time for them to open the gates for my flight.
Wow,
Yeah.
that's crazy.
Mm-hmm.
So I want to get into visa processing and your documents. What
Oh.
documents are required to get your visa?
Okay, so for my visa, I am applying to get, it's called a B permit in Switzerland. But to come from Jamaica, you need a Swiss visa that essentially says like it's a part of the Schengen visa thing with
Mm-hmm.
the all European,
Mm-hmm.
but Switzerland is not part of EU, so it's a weird kind of thing. So if you're gonna do study in Switzerland specifically, you have to go to the Swiss consulate in Jamaica. However, if it's for travel purposes and you want to go to Switzerland, you have to use the Spain consulate for Jamaica. So yes, it's that there's a big difference. The only because I don't know if you know Swiss stores in I think it's downtown. It's like a watch company. Swiss stores
I
in
think I, I
yeah
think I
yeah.
know.
The consulate is literally right above it. It's just a room up top.
I think I
Yes,
know where it is.
and it's only one. At any one time, I think it's only one person working in that consulate
There's
because
nobody no really.
nobody goes here. It's also like a mini restaurant, so it's kind of weird. Yeah, when I went there, but I like, yeah, Swiss stores. And then as I went in, you can shop for paintings, you can shop for watches, you can shop for jewelry. And then there's a restaurant, and then the consulate is like up the stairs, but she prefers to have people downstairs. And I was like, yeah, yeah, it's very small. So the processing, it takes 8 to 12 weeks for Switzerland specifically. Why? Because especially in Jamaica, to get the Schengen visa for Switzerland, you have to send it to the Swiss consulate in Cuba. Yes. So after you give all your documents, they take your passport, she ships all documents to Cuba. And that's where they stamp the visa in. So it's 8 to 12 weeks. And that was a long 8 to 12 weeks for me. But the documents you need, like for any visa, I don't know, you need a police record. You need a letter to say that you're willing to leave the country, that you have to sign. You need they call it study attestation, but essentially it's like your confirmation letter to the school.
Mm-hmm.
You also need, I think the school provides 2 documents. I don't remember what they were though, but it was basically saying like they agree that I am a part of the campus and it's like their legal side. The school also has to send documents to the embassy in Cuba for you. Of course you have to pay. I just remember how much I paid. You need your passport photos. You need confirmation that you have enough money in your bank account. I don't remember the baseline price that we needed, but essentially you need to show that you can fund yourself within the school that you're in Switzerland for. So I used my parents' bank account, and they sent like a letter, a sponsorship letter essentially stating that they are the ones that will help me throughout the school and pay for my school fee and stuff. Oh, I also had to pay like one term. I had to pay like one semester kind of term thing and give that to the content to ensure that I am committed to going to Switzerland.
Yeah.
Yeah. I had to show them like my estimated flight time and where I would go in Switzerland. Yeah. It was a lot of documents. I had a folder like this thick, just with like documents of like every little thing.
Yeah.
And then of course you have to go and do an interview.
Yeah.
That's why I knew where like the consulate was, because I needed to do an interview. And to be honest, I thought it was going to be like, you know, in the US embassy where you stand in the line and they have the microphone. I thought it was something like that. Then she comes downstairs, she has tea, and she's like, you want tea? Do you want water? It's like, no, I'm fine. She's like, oh, okay, so where are you going? I was like, oh, I'm going to Switzerland. She's like, okay, cool. Where are you studying? And she's like, I'm like, that place. And then she goes, okay, all right, goodbye. And I was like, that's it, I guess. Takes 8 to 12 weeks, but I applied during the height of Corona. So my visa took like 6 months. Yeah, because the consulate closed. The Swiss one in Jamaica and the one in Cuba closed. And then we were like, so my passport then. She's like, it's in Cuba. And I was like, Cuba,
No.
Stop in Jamaica.
Switzerland run different.
Different. Yeah, and then because Cuba was closed, I ended up having to send my passport actually to Switzerland at one point, and then back. Yeah.
So they don't have any embassies in the US?
And all I know of, but I don't know if it's because I was applying for like a student visa. It was different.
Different.
Yeah, because I know in Jamaica for like, if you're going to any European country, except for Switzerland, you can, the German embassy and the Spain embassy in Jamaica, they both can stamp the visa there. Yes, for Schengen. But because I'm going to Switzerland,
yeah,
I needed the Swiss one, which would be Cuba. But then Cuba was closed, so they sent it to the Switzerland.
Wow, you went through a lot.
Oh, you didn't even hear my travel problems yet. No, that one was hilarious.
Well, like luggage missing or
no, so when they stamped my visa, right, I had a flight that would take me through. I stopped in the US to collect some stuff from my aunt, and then from the US I'd go to Madrid airport, and then from Madrid I'd go to Geneva. I'm in the US waiting for my flight to go to Spain, and then the flight attendant on the desk was like, you cannot use this visa to enter Spain. And I'm like, no, you're wrong, because according to all of these things, it says I can, because on my visa, it said it was like a Schengen visa that allows me, because I'm spending less than 8 hours. So it allows me transit. I don't leave the airport. I don't do anything. I can't enter Spain, but I could go in transit. He goes, no. I'm like, what do you mean? So I had to call, because essentially there's a representative from the school that she's there 24/7 for you, especially when you're traveling. So I called her and I was like, this is what they're saying. I gave her the phone to the guy, and the guy's like, no, she can't enter. So yeah, I had to get my money from that. I missed that flight. So I ended up having to go through, I ended up getting like a flight that went through, I think, Amsterdam at that time at one point, that made me go through Amsterdam. And I was like, all right, cool. And then from Amsterdam, I went to Zurich airport. And then from Zurich airport, I went to Geneva. Well, and because of that, one of my luggage almost got lost, because they had to take off my luggage from the plane because the flight attendant would not let me on the plane, which was weird, because it's not like I was leaving the airport. So then I lost luggage, and I lost a lot of time, and I was running on like little to no sleep because time difference and everything was horrible. But it was a unique experience traveling, especially during Corona times. So then I ended up having to do a new PCR test, and I'm having to do all of these new things, ensuring that everything was correct, and patience. and
Go
letters to
through it,
show that.
man.
Yes.
So let's talk about the culture and the weather there. What's the
Mm.
culture like? Food,
Culture.
people, traditional norms, clothes.
Sorry. So let's start with food because I'm in a food related degree. Let's talk about that first.
Yeah.
So first and foremost, I'm sorry for any Swiss people. The food is bland. Bland, bland.
But wait. You have a culinary school in Switzerland.
Their traditional food is not the best. Let's just say that. It's not the best. They have this thing called the rosti. You know hash browns?
Yeah.
Rosti.
It's
You
like
not?
them say, all right, let's call this.
Rosti.
Yeah.
Rosti. That's in Swiss German, by the way. Rosti.
Oh,
Fondue, of course, in the French side, which is melted cheese with potatoes, with no salt. Breadcrumb, bread croutons. Yeah.
yeah. Switzerland is a cheesy place. Like,
Yeah, they have a lot of tubers, so like a lot of ground products.
yeah.
Horse hair. Yes, they do
What you
horse.
say?
Horse, nay, horse, horse, horse. They have this thing called the beef tartare, which essentially is like a raw kind of thinly cut the beef mixed with like a vinaigrette sauce and different things. However, in Switzerland, it was with horse. Traditionally, it was with horse. Have I tried it? Yes, I have. Do I like it? It's not the worst thing I've tried so far. Yeah.
Being in Europe, it really opens your taste buds. Like,
It really
makes
does. It
you
really does. Like with that horse, it took me a while to like realize it was horse. I was like, yeah. So what am I eating? He goes horse. And I was like, horse? Like the ones that people ride horse. It's like, yeah, horse. And I was like, oh.
crazy. Their taste is very
Yeah.
different.
It was
Very
that one killed me a little bit. They eat a lot of veal. Veal is let me remind myself what veal is. I really
I
don't.
think veal. I've had veal before. Veal
Yeah.
is like
veal
lamb. I think it's a lamb.
no, calves.
Yeah.
Cows, yes. I don't remember because sometimes there's so many different names in my head for different things that my
Yeah.
brain confuses a lot of stuff. So yes, veal is cows, baby
Okay.
cows.
I've had it.
Yeah.
It's good.
It's called, they have this thing called Zurich stew, which essentially is they cook veal in a stew. And in theory, it sounds really good. It sounds really good.
Yeah.
Because they have like they put stuff like peppercorns, some onions, garlic. So it's flavorful, you know?
Yeah.
And then they add cream.
Them love potato over there.
Potatoes, yes, potatoes, cream. Because it's really influenced by French to an extent, where they cook with a lot of cream and butter. There's a soup called home style soup with carrot, leeks. Leeks is like it's like scallion, like green onion, but bigger and less onion flavor. They have leeks. They have they do a lot of soups and stews because it's a cold country. And with that, so this is one. It's a nice soup, you know. It's like a nice Sunday dinner soup that we have with all of those nice things. And then they add cream.
Man, what's up, man?
And I was like, why? I understand, you know, because it's good for raising cows in like the hills and stuff. But then it's like, why?
Why the cream?
Adding cream. There's this thing called like pan haggerty, which is essentially beetroot. They have lots of beetroot here. And it's just beetroot on top of beetroot on top of beetroot with like cheese in the middle. It's yeah. No. 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 But yeah, if you really want to come to Switzerland and do like its food culture, it's nothing very exciting. But I have to say they do well with cheeses here. Like the variety of cheeses, they do really well here. Like I had this cheese, I can't even remember the name. It was like a nice hard cheese, like cheddar, but it was so soft. It was so nice. It melted in your mouth.
Wow.
But you have to be careful because they use a lot of unpasteurized milk. So if you have like a really bad immune system or you're pregnant, you can't have cheeses. Well, you shouldn't unless they say it's pasteurized. Yes, and chocolate here too, real good. They have museums here that you can go to. So for the cheese factory, it's called Gruyere, which is a type of cheese too. It's called La Gruyere. It's a cheese factory where you learn about how they feed the cows and how different herbs or plants the cows eat influences the milk, and then the milk influences the flavor and texture. And it's like this whole cheese factory that you go to and you can see them working, you can see them churning the cheese and everything. And you get to try like different age cheeses that they have. So you have 3 months, I think 5 and 6 month cheeses that they gave us. I prefer the 6 month one because I like hard cheeses. And then you have Caille. I don't know if you guys know about Caille chocolate. It's a very big brand in Europe specifically too. It's called La Caille, and it's a chocolate factory, and you essentially learn about how chocolate came to Switzerland and how Switzerland made it into a multi-million-dollar company. Yeah. Yes.
You know, I think I've seen that before.
It's called Caille Chocolate Factory, and Caille it's not a Y, it's Cailler.
Yeah. I think I've seen it. Yeah, I think I've seen it.
Caille Factory. Well, that one's not bad. You always have Lind, L-I, I don't know how you pronounce it. Lind chocolate. It's the Lindt.
Oh,
yes.
Yeah.
That they have like a head off. I don't know if it's a factory they have here. Haven't been to that one. We can also go there and enjoy a nice museum tour. Yes. You also have like if I remember, wait, no, that one closed. No, they closed that one. But yeah, I think those are the main food ones that I've seen here, like food museums and like food everything here. That introduces you to Swiss everything on a little thing.
Yeah. What's the culture like?
They close early. Very early here.
Is it like they have this like unknown rule of just closing at a certain time? It's not like set, but like them just
No, they take lunch breaks. Yes. So certain restaurants. So you have to be careful when you go to restaurants. You have non-stop restaurants and then you have regular restaurants. Non-stop restaurants.
The restaurant take lunch break?
Yes.
So they have shift staff where rotate.
Yes, of course.
But them still go for lunch.
Yes.
Lunch is priority.
Yes.
Oh.
Listen, in this country, you should take care of yourself. You should take a break. It's a thing. For betterment of yourself, you must take breaks. Listen, on my health insurance, I get 1 free spa treatment. I kid you not. On my health insurance, it says they pay for a spa treatment.
Switzerland is a luxury country, man. They believe in luxury.
They believe in luxury. They believe in relaxation. They believe like Sundays. Nothing is open on a Sunday. Sunday is family day / the Lord's Day, because it's also a very Christian country. So Sunday is the Lord's Day or relaxed family day. So nothing's open on a Sunday. Not even the supermarket.
Wow.
And banks, they only go from Monday to Friday and they close at 5. And they have a break in between I think 1 and 2 or 12 and 1. They have a break. Yeah.
Well, at least them go up until 5, because back in Jamaica go up until 2, 3.
Yeah. They go to, but the only reason why they go because they take the break. I feel like if they didn't take the break, they would have probably closed at like 2, 3.
So that means Switzerland is like a slow-paced country.
Yes, very slow paced. It's very very family oriented. They like to be with themselves. If you weren't in the friend group before, do not think you can enter the friend group now. Yeah. They're very
they get kicked out of the friend group.
Yeah, it's a very close community. They don't like inviting people in too much. They're like, oh yeah. Because we even learned that when a Swiss person basically, like, I don't remember the phrase exactly, but they do like something and then it's time for you to leave. It's like they say like either, I need to go do something or whatever, but maximum like outing time with family and friends in a household is like an hour. That's maximum. That's like in Jamaican household where you're staying at the person's house for a whole day. Yeah, it's very short. Like you stay and then you leave. That's the culture.
Wow.
Yeah, you listen, you have a meal and then you leave. Yeah. you sit down, you drink, you have your wine, you have your they have this thing called aperitif, which is essentially, it doesn't have to be an alcoholic beverage, but it's like a beverage to open your palate. It's called aperitif. And that starts it. And then you can start with your wines, you can start with your breads. Yeah, wines and breads here. It's a wine and bread culture. They took that from France. The wine and bread culture is like really big here, especially the French side. So wine, you have your breads, and then you go to like your main, and you have like another glass of wine, and then you have your dessert. And then you have this thing called a digestive, which is another beverage. Normally, this one is normally alcoholic, contains alcohol, and it's a thing that helps with your digestive process. It's like a warm drink that goes down and settles everything and makes you feel nice. Yeah. Yeah.
Switzerland, luxurious.
Very luxurious. I think so. It's basically an hour to an hour 15, and then after that you leave.
Do they
Yes.
have any traditional clothes?
Yes, they do. I have not seen it though, because the French side doesn't really have much traditional places, to be honest.
Yeah.
It's they I don't know. They spend more time eating bread, butter, wines, enjoying the beach, the lakes, than doing traditional things. But if you go to the German side, which is also bigger, so I guess that's why. And to be honest, the German side has more of the tradition than the French side. If you go to the German side, you see a lot more traditional outfits. I think I saw it twice when I went to I think I went to Zurich. I went to Zurich. It's an international place, but it has like a little pockets of traditional stuff inside, you know. So yeah. Seeing
okay.
it's a little weird for me, but it's okay.
Yeah. Okay. All right.